It's Wednesday, November 15th at about 11:50 in the morning, and we've come down to Sandbanks Provincial Park. Haven't been here in quite a while, so we're gonna walk up the main point here, a long spit of land, as you can see here in this aerial photograph. And it's approximately 7 kilometers long from south to north. And we're gonna start from the southeast corner here and climb up into the main dune area. Then at some point head across the point to the west side and then up the point. It's a beautiful day. That's why we came down today. It's mostly sunny with some clouds and 11 degrees. There is some brisk wind from the west, but otherwise it's a beautiful day. The Phragmites is really taking a hold along here. I don't remember this much in years past when we were here. Here's an interesting track we saw in the sand. Has to be a snake, I think. No sign of footprints. Looks like it's fairly recent because of the clarity of it. Goes right across the dune area here. Along here. Interesting. Probably just a garter snake, but there's a large number of switchgrass growing on the dunes here. Also some little blue stem sprinkled in. We're just working our way here up to the point that might be the highest area of the dunes. It certainly looks like it might be. Yeah, it's got to be close to the highest point. There's a point off to the south that might be as high or perhaps higher, although I'm not sure. And here we are at what might be the highest point of the dunes, looking southwest over Lake Ontario, panning back over the base of the peninsula here to the area that we just walked up by and through, and then looking over towards Westlake. This is a nice view to show the small pans that have formed in between the dunes over on the west side of the spit here. You can see those darker green areas. Those are the lower, wetter areas that have pan vegetation compared to the upright dune areas to the east here. So we're going to work our way north up through here, see how far we get. We're just cutting across to the west beach now. We've been following a trail of sorts through the central part of the dunes. Now we're just cutting through some marram grass colony here, and then out to the beach. We're not that far from it now, as the point is getting narrower as we head north. It's 1:15 now, and it's still a beautiful day out weather-wise. Getting more sunny actually, and warmer. Probably 12, 13 degrees. There is a stiff wind from the west, but very nice. And I'm really enjoying being back out here on the dunes at Sandbanks. It's been quite a while. Almost at the beach now. It's gonna get noisy when we get out here because of all the wind and waves. At 1:25, we're only about halfway up the entire length of the spit here. That's because we've been walking up and down and around all the different dunes at the start. But now we're walking in a straight line on the beach, which will be a lot faster. And it's just up here, or very close to here, where the point gets really narrow. It really constricts at a certain point here. In the distance there, you can see the Wellington water tower. That's close to where this point ends. I don't know if we'll get right up to there or not, but we'll see. So it's 2:20, and I think we're going to stop our walk here. We've come quite a ways north. We're about 1 kilometer away from Wellington, maybe not even that far. We can see the Wellington Tower quite close here, but we thought it might be more advantageous to head back about halfway on the beach on this side and then cross back over, because on this side it's very noisy with the waves and the wind. So we thought we'd get back further and then cut across to the quiet side again, where it's a little more pleasurable to watch birds and things. Anyhow, it's been a really nice walk up this side too, but just a little on the noisy side. So you can see how far we have to go back. We have to walk right back to that darker vegetation in the distance, so it's quite a long walk now. Well, 6.3 kilometers or so. So we've decided to come inland now off the beach. We've come in a little earlier than we went out before, but we wanted to get away from that wave noise. It gets a little irritating after a while. I think it might be a little difficult walking through this section though. We're not really in a full dune area or open area at all. It's more grown in up this section, so it might be tricky to get a clear pathway back, but we'll have to see. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like we've got a wide beach up ahead of us here, so we can get out on that beach maybe and walk back in relative silence. So we just cut across the peninsula here, and I'm looking north towards Garrett Island. We checked there to see if we could get out to the island, but it's all marshes at the base of the point there, so you can't get onto it. But we have this nice wide beach here coming back south. And we're going to work our way back up there, and you can see the high dunes in the distance up there. So it's 2:55 right now, and the weather's getting even nicer as the day goes on. Sunshine is coming across the beach here, very nice as the sun's getting low in the western horizon, as you can see here. You can see the action of the waves here from past weeks when the water was higher. They've created these beautiful sculpted sandbars here along the beach side. Beautiful. Hydrology at work. We're approaching the narrowest part of the peninsula here, and you can see that the water comes right up to the Phragmites. So we're going to cut in through the Phragmites a bit just to get around this bottleneck here. So here's looking down on the narrow part of the peninsula. This is the west side with the waves crashing, and you just go 150 feet or so, and then you come to this narrow constricted bay on the east side. And that's what we're walking around right now, because the marsh plants, the Phragmites and cattails and things, are growing right up to the edge of the forest. You can't get through it, or you've got to be walking in the water. Back out on the beach again to get past that constricted area. Just a beautiful day right now for hiking. It's still mild and a little breeze. Sun's going down, so we get the beautiful colors coming across the dunes. Just beautiful. We've got to cut in again because the beach ended, and now we're sort of trapped between the beach and vegetated land inland. So we've got to bushwhack it a bit, which isn't going to be easy for a few feet. Another dead end going out to the bay side, so now we're going up a very steep dune to get up on the dune tops again, so we don't have to keep backtracking around marsh indentations. Oh, finally. Four o'clock, and we're just heading back down the west side of the dunes here, just trying to get inland a bit to get around the wetland edges. I see where we are. We're half a kilometer north of the highest point that we were at earlier. Just got to make our way down into this steep valley down here on the side of the dunes, and then make our way up along this trail and up through here. Back to the West Lake side after making that diversion around the constriction. Did you survive that?
Hey?
Did you survive that hill? Now I know what Lawrence of Arabia felt like as he made his way through the Sahara Desert. Except it's a little cooler here. Well, it's just coming up to 4:30 and we're on the last half kilometer of walk here along the beach until we get to the parking area. So we've been out here for 4.5 hours, roughly. It's been a beautiful walk, really enjoyed it. Beautiful scenery, beautiful weather. Quite a few birds out here too. And looking forward to getting back though. My knees and ankles are feeling it. It's quite a bit more difficult walking continuously through sand than it is certainly on harder packed ground. At first it feels nice, but then as your ankles and knees start to twist more and more, it really starts to wear you out. Anyhow, we're almost back. Okay, 4:45 and we're just getting our way back to the car parking area. Worn out. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed that outing to Sandbanks Provincial Park, and catch you on the next adventure.